Hey guys, I'm Pixel Dan, and this is a review of the NECA Toys Terminator Future War Metal Mash Terminator figure. That's right, my friends. This is part of a new wave paying tribute to the original Kenner Terminator action figures. And this one here is under that Future War license. So what's Future War? Well, that was Kenner's attempt to kind of extend the story of Terminator and create a whole new batch of action figures. That way they can keep making toys and continue the story moving forward. The Future War line actually gave us some unique figures, and one of the figures we got was a repaint of the T-800 endoskeleton in this gold color here with the numbers printed on his chest, and they called him the Metal Mash Terminator. So NECA's done a great job of paying homage to this figure, not only with the figure, but with the packaging. And just to show you guys, how about we do a little bit of comparison time with the packages? Because I do have a vintage carded Kenner Metal Mash Terminator that we can put right alongside this new carded version from NECA. So you can see how they really did a great job of paying homage to that vintage card back, complete with all of the artwork. It's really amazing. Even flipping it around to the backside, the cross-sell on the back is a great nod to the original packaging and shows off all of the other cool Kenner-inspired Terminator figures that NECA has done and is currently doing. Really amazing stuff. But let's go ahead and get Metal Mash Terminator pulled out of the box and take a closer look at him. Now, if you have picked up any of the endoskeleton figures from NECA before, you probably know what you're getting into here, but what really makes this guy unique is the paint deco, but also he's got a pretty cool action feature that I'm going to show you in just a bit. So let's go ahead and start, like we always do, with the scale. So you can see that the figure is right there at that 7-inch mark. So he's about perfectly scaled with the rest of your NECA Terminator action figures. And of course, because he's an endoskeleton, he's very thin. He's real lightweight. It doesn't feel like there's a whole lot going on there, but the sculpt is really amazing. And when you look at the face here, I love the sculpt that NECA's done with the face, because they've just brilliantly captured that great kind of skull-like look of these androids here, of these Terminator T-800s. Love the teeth, love the red eyes. Very, very cool stuff going on here. And the rest of it is really nicely done as well, because we have all the cables and wires and everything, and you can see some of these cables are made of like a more pliable plastic, so that way they kind of dangle off there, but they don't get in the way of any of the movements or anything like that. The waist I always thought was really neat on these, because you can see how they're made of like the pistons here are made of like a softer plastic, so they kind of turn with the waist while you're turning it, which is just a really neat effect. You got the same thing going on with the legs here. When you hinge the legs outwards, you can see how the pistons kind of move with it. So NECA's always done a great job with the endoskeletons. Looking really, really great. He balances really well for being a very skinny figure, so I don't have to worry about him falling over or anything like that. And if you want to see how the rest of the articulation works, well, he does have the joint at the top of the neck as well as at the base of the neck. He is connected by these little wires right here, which slightly hinder the movement, but you can see they move with the head pretty well. You see the arms go outwards at the shoulders. They also move forwards and backwards. We've also got swivels there at where the bicep would be. We've got those elbow joints that make those pistons move, which is very, very cool. And we've got swivels at the wrists there. There's really nothing in the torso here, but we can swivel the torso side to side, which I showed you just a little bit ago. I also really like these little opening flaps on the back there, which is really, really cool. The legs can go outwards, forwards, and backwards, and again, really great movement in the little pistons in the legs there. You got the nice bends at the elbows, which are real nice and tight on this figure, and then the ankles can turn left and right, and the toes even move up and down. So it's a pretty great range of articulation for such a very skinny figure there, and it works out really, really well. And of course, if you want an accessory to put with him, he does come with the phased plasma rifle, which you can place right there in his right hand, because that is the one with the trigger finger. Holds onto it really nicely, and you can even get poses where his left hand is placed underneath the barrel there for the nice two-handed poses. So really, really cool stuff. Now, this is where things get really fun, because I mentioned that added action feature with this guy, and the action feature comes straight off of the vintage Kenner Metal Mash Terminator. If we look on the back of his head, you'll notice this little extra hole right here. They added a light piping feature. And if you're not familiar with this very classic action feature for toys, what this does is when light shines directly into this little spot on the back of his head, it makes his eyes appear that they are glowing red. And my studio lights are kind of doing that already, but let me bring in a more direct light source here. Cell phone will work, right? But look at that. If I shine the light directly in his head, do you see the way his eyes glow? Look, see if I take the light away, put the light back over it. Look at that. How cool is that effect? And I thought this was a really nice touch because it would be real easy to just take one of their existing T800s and just do a straight repaint, which they did, but they went the extra step and added that cool little action feature that comes right out of the vintage toy, which is very, very cool. So as we're talking about it, my friends, it's comparison time. Here is the vintage Kenner Metal Mash Terminator standing alongside the brand new version from NECA Toys. You can see the colors match up really good, except for the NECA one's got a little bit better of a paint deco, of course. It's like dirtied up and everything looks really nice. But you can see they've got the barcode and the 7550 printed there on the chest. So very cool looking at these two side by side. And of course, you know, they both have the light piping thing going on. See that? Look at that. Ooh, glowing red eyes on the vintage one, glowing red eyes on the new one. How cool is that? Just such a nice touch and a really cool nod to the classic toy line. So there you go, my friends. There is a look at the brand new Metal Mash Terminator. All in all, very solid action figure. Like I said, if you've already been collecting the Terminator figures from NECA, you no doubt already know what to expect out of one of their T800 figures. But this is still really nice looking, because even if you're not into the vintage Kenner stuff, it gives you something that looks a little different to stand on your shelf with your army of endoskeletons, plus those glowing eyes is a really nice touch. I'm a big fan of the Kenner tributes, and I think this is a fantastic wave. I love that we're doing Terminator Kenner figures now, and I say NECA, keep them coming. Hey guys, thank you so very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button, leave me a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos just like this one. Until next time, my friends.